first half. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Beyond thrilled to be bringing you the Super Bowl. All the pomp, all the circumstance, all the pageantry. It doesn't get any better than this, partner.
I'm loving sharing this booth with you, sharing this moment, this type of a game. For all the teachers who said we'd never make it, we're here.
And we talk these last couple weeks about the build-up, the anticipation. I think these guys are just ready to get out there and get this thing started.
And I know that both coaching staffs have spent considerable time trying to figure out how to best bring their team up to a peak without taking them over the edge and causing a lot of issues early in the game.
And you don't think much of a pregame speech is needed for this one?
I think the pregame speeches were the shortest all year. If they didn't just say, let's go get them, guys, they probably talked too much.
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
Now 2nd and 8 at the 32-yard line. Here's Stroud. Finds his man. It's John Mechie. Finding room at midfield. And finally taken down at the 44-yard line. The catch and run, good for 24 yards.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage. So timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Back to throw. Here's Stroud. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Well, that's absolutely going to fire this defense up. They made it their mission to deny that completion, and they came through with a nice hit and knocked it incomplete.
Now a 2nd and 10. A shotgun snap to Stroud. Over the middle, that's caught by Mechie. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 32-yard line.
Well, this is where reading defenses and practice time comes into play. You got to know what you're running versus zone versus man and how to run the proper route. And they just executed that one pretty well.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Repeat of the last play, going to Mechie here. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. 12 more yards for him there. It's a first down. Well, that's not just his first, not his second, already his 3rd completion here on the opening drive. And I think it's safe to say that getting him the ball in this game, one of their top priorities.
And the top priority for the defense has got to be finding ways to cover him. And I don't think you can have one basic coverage to get it done. You have to throw a number of coverages at him, make him think as he's running downfield, and hope you can create a little bit of havoc.
Mixon with a first down carry. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. Throwing now is Stroud. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. Matt Judon came in there hard on the blitz and got him down 9 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Now they're coming up on play number 8 of this opening drive, but they're looking at a 3rd and long. Stroud looking to throw. Pass complete to Dell. And that's good for a gain of 6. And that's going to make it 4th down.
Brandon, a good idea there on 3rd down. Run a little clear out and hope you can get your receiver the ball coming across the formation. Nice design, but well played defensively, and they stop it well short.
3 points, probably not going to win this Super Bowl, but at least you get something on the opening drive.
And it's certainly not going to lose it. So the bottom line is, come away with the points now, come back and get greedy later, and try and put it in the end zone.
Fairbairn now, following the made field goal, he'll send this one away. And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll start out on the ground with Jones. Brought down in the play by the linebacker, Christian Harris. This Super Bowl, of course, just a huge one for this head coach. The first time he's walked the sidelines in a game of this magnitude. And you know, I might normally ask the cliche, what's going through his mind right now? But maybe the better question, CD, what do you think are the pitfalls of being a first-time head coach in this game?
Well, you know it's something that he thought about, Brandon, and he had to, and he was thinking about.
There he goes, right side. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalton Kincaid, 69 yards. And the Vikings have answered that early field goal to take a first-quarter lead. Extra point right down the middle, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback, and we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. They trail early on in this Super Bowl as they come up 1st and 10. Now Stroud. Flushed out right. A throw on the run, but that's going to be incomplete.
So it looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
Out of the shotgun, they run with Mixon. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down. 3-4 defense, and that O-line really dominated the D-line on that play.
And think of it this way. With a 3-4, you have a natural bubble over each guard because those guys don't have defenders over them. Oftentimes, you want to run up the middle.
Well, they get to Stroud. Nowhere to go, and he goes down. Jonathan Allen. He's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9. But defensively on the previous play, they gave up a pretty good chunk of yardage, but right there, they got a good portion of it right back.
And if we just flip it around from the offensive perspective, took a nice step forward, and how about a couple of leaps backwards after that play? They've got to figure out a big call coming up here to try and gain that yardage back.
In motion goes the tight end. Throwing on 2nd and long. Stroud flush to his right. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. He turned that into a Nice gain. Gets him 8 yards closer for third down.
The plan was clearly to challenge them by sending a blitz on second down, but even the extra guy couldn't catch him in the backfield, though. He didn't scramble for it first, but he does get the last laugh by evading the blitz and getting beyond the line of scrimmage.
Backed up here, tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first. As Stroud now to throw. He's got his target. That's complete. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 29-yard line. That gain on third down, good for 28. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up the first down.
This game not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two.
I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well. And that's what they just did on that play.
Gang with me.
Biggest game of the year, the Super Bowl, and both teams ready.
They're
For the start
around.
of the second quarter.
No, we ain't playing fair. No, we ain't playing fair.
This chip is on my shoulder in this game. I've been through a lot of balls, and they can't stand me because I'm misunderstood. And I need a bad bitch just to give up to you. You know I like to eat, I hope you like it too.
They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good position, first and 10. They go back to the ground now with Mixon. He will push his way down to about the 14. Andrew Van Ginkel there on the stop. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
That's what I'm just. Be on my cologne, she said my signals how obsessed. I became obsessed.
This is 2nd and 8.
I'm stuck with no question. I'm not September 2nd, no mistake. Haters gonna have a good time with me.
On a slant, here's Collins. And the Texans are going to have a first and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line. That time on the run-pass option when he decided to throw it. Not a quick little drop-off. He went downfield a bit.
Reminiscent of a triple-option quarterback in college because he faked it inside, and instead of immediately throwing it out to the perimeter, stepped back in the pocket to find a target downfield.
Mixon. Going to be hit and met at the line of scrimmage. They get him down at the 3. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal. Stroud to throw it. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
But, Brandon, we see why it's a team game there because there's a sigh of relief that they just released defensively. If he's able to get that one away, that's likely a touchdown. But instead, that pressure from the front got to him and forced the incompletion.
You're right. He had him open. Just a split second too late on the release. Third and goal, Stroud. They'll roll him out right, and he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to fourth down.
They made a nice effort to stick it with a loss for that play, but it's going to take more than that to keep him from advancing the ball. Should be an entertaining battle anytime he tucks and runs over the second half of this contest.
Fourth down, Stroud going to try to throw for it.
Oh, my.
Got his man, it's caught. Touchdown, Houston. Brevin Jordan, a 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Texans' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. Fairbairn good with the extra point, and the lead is now 10-7. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And not willing to risk a return. This ball is going to come out to the 30-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. As this offense comes back out here, Charles, they're trailing in this ball game. And they've been on the sideline for a while. They did score their last time out, but they just had to watch that long, sustained drive, so we'll see if they can shake the rust off.
Yeah, and that's always a question that you have when you have to come off the bench after having sat there for a long time. Are you ready to go? Are you loosened up? But even more so, are you mentally alert and ready to put your best product out there?
Here's second and 10.
All these bad bitches that we keep round. Pockets gotta be deep now.
From the shotgun to give to Jones. And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
It's not a huge breakaway run, but if your starting running back finishes the game without just a 5 or 6 yards per touch, you'll take that every single time.
This now a 3rd and 4.
I do fly the week. Princess and Longos, Dubai with sheiks. Anywhere I go, know about the freak. Told her I'm Drago, you Apollo Creed. Cross our cars go, you guys the meek. I'm Mercy Alongo, and you dry your feet. Nigga, from that ball in us.
And he'll be hit as he releases it.
Like a red, looking like the balls of the hood. 23 got the ball sick. This game 6, this game shooting my shot. This game series, it's my shit like I just stayed this.
And letting it be known that points won't come so easy again.
Shorty speaking this language.
High kick trying to
she gon'
pin him
switch lanes
back.
quick. I got shut up money, I don't explain shit.
And this will be down just inside the 30-yard line.
Join and she gets things lit. Baby got a prove on some rich gang shit. Me and being meek must know this same bitch. If you look in our eyes, man, that shit's dangerous on top. On the gang on purpose, no bullshit. You the one, D. Pass me the clipping, the long nose. Dennis game.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles' defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
I'm keeping them like Tony Kudo, I'm falling in points.
You know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other. It is certainly becoming rarer by the year to see your franchise guy take a hit like that. The defender couldn't believe he had a shot to light him up. So when you take off and run, you have to make sure you can slide, get out of bounds, anything. Just don't leave yourself open to hits like that.
Stroud. They'll set up the screen here to mix him. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
And good yardage there on first down, because sometimes all you need to do on the screen is get one key block. That might set your man free, and that was pretty good pursuit to the football defensively, or it could have gone for more.
Second down and a little more than a yard here. Back to throw. Stroud. Pass thrown right back to Joe Mixon. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. Able to get the 1 yard he needed, but nothing more.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon. And it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
They'll look to throw here on first down. Right side completes to Mechie. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8.
I think as he began this throw, you saw that the area was congested, but he has a lot of confidence in his arm, and he fits that one in there nicely to pick up the catch. Not much yardage afterwards.
Let me know you're hot, let me know you're down, let me know it's real. Let me know you want to chill, let me know you want some champagne, bring a plane so I know the deal. I've been grinding a lot of time, I don't never stop. You've been holding it down for me while I level up. Don't keep around me, no, I don't never trust.
Second and a couple.
Up, ain't no one of them I'm ahead of us. Honestly, baby girl, I don't lose a bed to rest. Want you to give me your all until there ain't nothing left. I know niggas
Stroud out of the gun here. Dumps it off to Nixon. And he'll get it down to the play to the 37. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
But they certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the first half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball, possibly in the open field. And I think in the second half, that may loosen up the defense a little bit to get the running game going back inside.
This will be complete to Mechie. Oh, he's got some room.
Oh, okay. Serious.
John Mechie, 37 yards. And the Texans will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
And that's certainly an important score right there because they gave themselves a 2-score cushion heading towards halftime. Now you got to force the other team out of their comfort zone, and it changes the way you approach the second half as well. How you want to do things on offense, and your defense feels much better too, having that lead.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Charles, you're down multiple scores, less than a minute left here, but with that deficit, they've got to try to at least work their way into field goal range to try to muster something out of this drive.
I'm going to date myself one more time because I'm going to quote an old Smokey and the Bandit lyric. They've got a long way to go and a short time to get there, but they still have time to get it done. So I'm looking forward to watching them mount this drive and see if they can get some points out of it.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Here's McCarthy. Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
I'm really liking what I'm seeing from this defense because their coverage has been playing at a shutdown level so far. Even backed up late, they're forcing incompletions and fighting to keep them out of the end zone as the first half winds down.
2nd and 10. Now they'll change things around before the snap. Up the middle, Jones. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. To the right side here, caught by Kincaid. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalton Kincaid. His second touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Vikings get a late score here in the final minute of the first half. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead's down to a field goal at 17-14. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings moving away. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll...
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Mekhi Blackman's got it. And the Vikings are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield. He's certainly not been afraid to take some chances downfield. Now, look, it's paid off for him a couple of times. That time, not so fortunate.
And that's where I want to start, what you said. It's paid off a couple of times. So his aggressiveness has been good for his offense for the most part. So he throws an interception there. No one likes that, but I would not rein him back in. The return on investment thus far has been pretty good. 2 touchdowns to 1 interception.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. From the shotgun, McCarthy. Buying time to his left. And I think the ball's out, but this will fortunately wind up out of bounds. Can almost see inside his face mask there the look of relief. He coughed it up, but it goes out of bounds. They keep it.
Someone carrying around the lucky horseshoe, aren't they? If I were him, I'd go out and play the lottery after that one. A very fortunate man.
And they're operating in plus territory here. They're thinking points. Definitely don't want to lose the football at this juncture. And he will find his man on the end route. Complete. And they'll burn the timeout with 5 seconds left. A chance to try to add 3 points before heading to the locker room. And this one is right through. And that will tie things at 17-all. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach turned his defense. The firemen, go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we welcome you back now alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Garden getting set for quarter number 3 here.
I can always stand you.
These two teams sat through a longer than usual 30-minute wait, but we're back in action here in this Super Bowl. And we will not see a return of the dynamic kickoff, and the first drive of the second half will commence from the 30-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And through one half at least, this Super Bowl has been everything it was cracked up to be. All tied. What's your key for them, Charles, in the second half?
Simplicity, partner, because in the Super Bowl, with the extra time at halftime, I think some stats get caught up in trying to design too many things. It's all tied up. They have to remember what they did to get here, put that back into play here in the second half, and I think they'll be all right.
And he'll get this to about the 34, a gain of just 3. But now he appears to be in some pain. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. Now a 3rd and 6. Looking to throw McCarthy. He finds his man, complete. It's Chandler. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45.
Hold on a second. Was that the fullback? That was the fullback. Who says that the slot receivers are the only guys who can catch the football and get big yardage after the catch? Really nice job there. Showing good hands and an ability to get upfield.
And fights through one man. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Going to get a break here for an injury. Aaron Jones is in some discomfort down on the field. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now a first carry for their fullback. And a good-looking run there as he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18-yard line. Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Viking slow to get up. Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. In motion comes the tight end left. They'll run. This is Jordan Mason. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. 13-yard gain yet again, just like last play. Throwing is McCarthy.
Oh my God.
Shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. The line of scrimmage once again the 5 as they get ready for 2nd and goal. An inside give to Jones. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. Aaron Jones, a 5-yard touchdown run. And the Vikings have taken the lead as they go right down the field and score on the opening drive of the second half. The extra point splits the uprights, and they will take a 7-point lead. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away.
I mean, it's pretty free route. 7, 60 yard that we got.
This will come out to the 30. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Well, Charles, you and I said at intermission, feels like we're set up for a good second half. Well, the other side scored, and now it's up to them to answer. How do they respond here with their first drive of the second half?
Well, bottom line is they just saw the ball go in the end zone against their defense, and they saw what good offense looks like. They believe they've got a good offense as well. Run the best plays you've got to the top performers you have, and try to move that ball down the field for an answering score.
Inside handoff to Mixon. And a pretty athletic run right there as he's going to get this down inside the 40. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays.
Running lanes run a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Operating from the gun, Stroud. No, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Okay, Tart. Big boy.
24-yard line.
So rare to see any quarterback toss back-to-back interceptions in the NFL, regardless of status or experience. Whether it's him personally or just the offensive game plan, I think this defense is reading something out there, and they're holding the upper hand.
I ain't signed to nobody, bitch. I work for me, bitch. Fuck the top for revenge, bitch. You heard me. Fuck slipping at the movies, gave him first degree. Rihanna got awards in that case, bitch. Hurt me. I tell a bitch she ain't sucking dick to leave me be. I need a brick on the eat to be there with the
He's had a fantastic rookie season, made a lot of lovely throws, but that wasn't one of them.
Well, we got to give him one, don't we? I mean, with the year he's having, a lot easier for he and his teammates to accept that throw, because for the most part, what they've seen, it's been pretty sensational.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Got his man, Dell. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And it's 2nd down.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable 2nd down.
Back to throw. Here's Stroud. He'll find his running back, Joe Mixon. Nothing on the screen that time. Now it's third down. So nothing there on the screen that time.
That means all that great acting they tried on offense went for naught, didn't it? Because you have to try and influence them. Make them think that you're doing something else. Make them think that they can get to the passer by letting them by and then setting up the screen and getting downfield. Didn't happen at all. Give a lot of credit to the defense for not tumbling to that one.
Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. Fourth down. Here's Stroud.
I'm complacent.
And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. That's a fourth down pickup of 10 yards, and an opportunity certainly missed on the defensive side. Here's Stroud. This goes out wide for Nixon. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. Stroud looking to throw. And a quick throw here that's complete. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Takedown from 8 yards out. And the Texans are an extra point away from tying up this Super Bowl. On for the PAT, Kaimi Fairbairn. And that will tie our game here in the third quarter. Nothing separating these two sides. 24 all our score as he sends this one away. And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. We got a brand new ball game, all even after that last touchdown. So every drive now becoming a little more critical here in the second.
Oh my God.
And his throw here is incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Out of the shotgun, it's Jones. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
Yeah, that was a safety that came through and made the play. But there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker. We see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed. A big hit for a loss. The Texans here on 3rd down, putting an extra defender in the secondary. McCarthy operating from the gun. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Partner, the way this offense has marched up and down the field during this game, it's almost a surprise to see an incomplete pass on 3rd down, isn't it?
Yeah, they have had their foot on the gas all game long, but here finally stalling out. It's a 4-yard return following a punt of 49. And the Texans will take over. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. No matter what the defense throws at them, they feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. One play has them up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Stroud working out of the gun. That's complete to Dell. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans.
I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down. Executed it to perfection. So that's the end of 3 here in Super Bowl 59 from Caesars Superdome, the 4th and final quarter coming right up. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
All my niggas made it out the trap. Going back. Yeah, nigga. Yeah. Come on, we rich up. Yeah. Made it out the slum. Shit, we good. Son got a little chop.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Mixing up the middle. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. And Stroud now to throw. That's caught left side by the tight end, Jordan. Touchdown, Houston. Brennan Jordan, his 2nd touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Texans have broken this deadlock and have taken the lead here in the 4th. Fairbairn now to add the extra point. And they will take a 7-point lead now. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback. And we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And we're at the time in this Super Bowl where, look, they need points. And they need them badly. Trailing here in the 4th quarter as they begin this drive 1st and 10. McCarthy, he'll set to throw it. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
Gets this to his running back, Aaron Jones. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
That's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice short.
Oh, looking for Waddle, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Trayvon Diggs. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line.
Well, this is something we've seen before, partner. We've seen a defense bait a rookie, pretend to leave a window open, and then the defensive back jumped it as soon as the ball was released. Big-time play. They love taking advantage of the youngsters, and in this case, it paid off well.
And a hard-working run here as he's got it inside the 20, down to the 17. A pickup of 11 and a Texans 1st down. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
Caught left side, here's Dell. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Two yards left on 2nd down from the 9. A shotgun snap to Stroud. To Mixon on the check down. And the Texans are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line.
Well, they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and here he picks up another 1st down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
They'll give it to Mixon, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
And even with the loss on 1st down, they did a nice job holding on to the football. And they can still run it 2 more times and take some time off the clock and even take some of the timeouts away from the defense and then possibly kick a field goal and go up 2 scores. They're in a great spot.
Stroud to throw it. Escaping the pressure right. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Well, no surprise there. He was looking for one of his favorite targets again as soon as he left the pocket. But the coverage was good downfield. They got right to the receiver and helped prevent that completion.
3rd and goal, a big play in the Super Bowl. Throwing now is Stroud. And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. Nico Collins, a 5-yard touchdown. And the Texans are starting to pull away in the 4th quarter of this Super Bowl. We talk so often about how hard it is to win in the NFL when you turn the ball over, and here a late turnover leads to a 4th quarter touchdown and a 2-score lead.
And what's more important is being able to take advantage when a turnover presents itself. You've got to come up with points to make the other guy pay. If they're able to do so here, they've got a pretty good chance now of winning this football game.
Time for the touchdown. Here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And not willing to risk a return. This ball's going to come out to the 30-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
Now McCarthy. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
I'm not even sure I know who this guy is out there playing right now. This is very unlike him, one of the most accurate guys in the league. Totally off his game right now.
I don't know. I was going to ask you what you pin it on, but defensively, they've been pretty solid.
Well, sometimes, you know, those defenders, they get into the receivers pretty well, and if they chip away at their timing, it's going to affect what you're doing throwing the ball as well.
The Vikings on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. They'll try and run for it with Jones. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. 88 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's going on. The job 1 to pick up the 1st down is complete. That was a big 3rd down conversion, but they got to watch the clock. It's starting to become their enemy a bit here in a 2-score game.
Which means they have to pick up the pace, right? The tempo has to be up. And what they do is they tell the quarterback in his helmet, hey, listen, when we pick up the 1st down here, tell everyone we're going. We're moving now to 2-minute offensive phase, and everyone on the bench area, they're waving them along too. Let's go, let's go, let's go. I do think it's fair to say that they were caught off guard a little bit. We decided not to throw it on 1st down. But give them credit. They recovered in time to deny him the 1st down yardage. But it's only 2nd and short. So that run is still likely to lead to a new set of downs.
She told me off, so I fuck her best friend, yeah. She hit me up and I seen a message, yeah. Smith & Wesson, fuck a tech, yeah.
They come up now on 2nd and 2. Looking to throw. McCarthy. A short throw pulled in by Kincaid. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Back to throw now on 1st down. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2. They'll come up now on second down. Working out of the gun is McCarthy. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. Back to throw. McCarthy eluding the pressure right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. Looking to throw. McCarthy. This to the sideline and nearly intercepted. Oh, he had that in his grasp. Couldn't get it. Instead, it'll bring up third down.
Now the focus is really clear. They need to get that first down and either get out of bounds or maybe use one of those timeouts.
This is third and goal. Back to throw. McCarthy. And he takes this one into the end zone. And all of a sudden, here in the final minute, things get a little bit tighter. Extra point forthcoming. And that'll cut the lead down now to a touchdown. So still a small chance here with a little over 30 seconds to go, but they're definitely going to need this one to bounce their way. And this is going to be recovered by the hand team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. The risk-reward of the onside kick, when you don't get it, the risk comes out to play, and here they gave up great field position.
And that's the key to everything, because you're trying your best to press advantages when you have them, and field position leads you to that type of play calling, and whether you want to blitz or whether you want to throw the ball deep, those types of things. Now that they've given up that type of field position, the advantage is switched to their opponent.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? So jumping from his free safety spot.
That tells you how aggressive they are on defense, doesn't it? They get everyone involved. He was a little too fast on that play.
Down to a knee here as the Texans look to let the clock roll. The Vikings going to use their third and final timeout, as they'll stop it with 27 seconds showing on the clock. Time for this one final knee to put a bow on this title bout.
I don't know why we did it, but we went to their final walkthrough for some reason. And what did we see? Their last play in walkthrough was taking a knee and celebrating winning a Super Bowl. They wanted that visualization. They did it for real.
Yeah, they just scripted it out. Defense can't stop the clock, and they can watch the final seconds tick. And the Lone Star State has a new champion.